To work with SQL, we need a tool that allows us to write statements and send them to database software, which then processes these statements and provides the result. There are various programs and applications capable of understanding SQL. And in many cases, SQL statements are integrated directly into the code of an application or program. Since I can't cover every software available for writing SQL, I have selected a program, an application that's compatible across all platforms. Some SQL tool requires extensive setup, but I want to avoid delving into those complexities right at the start. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will be using DB browser for SQLite. To install this, you can simply search on Google DB browser for SQLite, and then you can install it on your Linux, Macs or Windows. And from there we can start writing SQL queries and doing all kind of transformation and things. So this is an easy alternate other than installing some database and building those system. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will be using this. Okay, so now let's try to explore this DB browser for SQLite. So this is the UI here. Why I wanted you guys to install this browser is because otherwise you might need to set up complex cloud infrastructure server for like running a SQL queries and all this thing. But here all you need to do is to install this browser and we can start learning SQL. So this come very handy. If you want some other tool, you can go ahead use them. But again, then you are on your own to set up them and do everything with them. Okay, so let's start by creating a new database. For creating a new database, you can simply click on new database here. It will open a window like this. Here you can name it. Let's say I want to name it project 01. I can save it into document. It will be saved as a .db file. I saved it. If you want to save changes made to the this is asking about the previous one which I already had open. So I'll just say don't save. Okay, now once the database is created, it is asking me to create a table. So let's say I want the name of the table to be people. So now the thing is, it will simultaneously keep writing a SQL query. So if you want to create a table, what happens in most data warehousing solution like Snowflake or Redshift, you have to write queries like this. You will not have an option, a UI option like you have here. You'll have to write a query like this and then execute it to create a table. So take a closer look here on everything which is going on here, the query which is being written while we make the table using UI, because that is what very important is. So you have to write create table people. Mostly you have to write the database and schema name as well here, but for this one it's fine. So let's give it some field which is the columns. Firstly we'll give it the first field as first name. Obviously we'll set it as text and we don't want it to be not null and all these things, so it is fine. Second, we can have the last name. Again, we'll give it a text. Third, we can have age maybe. We'll give it an integer. The type will be integer. And you can see the query which is being written here, right? Then we can write salary. And again, it will be integer. So we have the query here and we'll say, okay. If you go in database structure inside table, you will find this people and you will find the query written for it. Now let's say we want to execute a SQL query on top of it. So we can go easily into this panel, execute SQL, and we can write select star, which is everything from people, which is the name of our table. We did it. It produced 0 result and produced without any error. And this was the query. So this shows that it is working. These are all the columns, but it has 0 result because we didn't insert any data in it. Okay, so this was a quick intro about this useful tool which is DB for SQLite.